Hello, and welcome to Level Tours. This is Gustav Mahler, your tour guide, and before we begin, I'd like to take a look at the first thing I did right there. So I popped up the scoreboard for a second. You might not think I can see much, but what I do is I scan for the levels, and I see if there are any 999s, and then I see if I recognize them. Here I know Clowns is an excellent player and to be feared, and I know Betos, the third player there, is also to be feared, and then I just check their ping. And those players line up with the little red dudes under the radar. And that's how I keep track of the players that way. And I guess that's something we're going to talk a lot about today because this week we're talking about following up from last week's How to Play Noobs. This time it's how to play medium players or intermediate players or normal players or something like that. I haven't really decided quite what to call it yet. But the point is that we'll be talking about how to play slightly better players. Maybe not 4 expert players running at you with burst rifles, but this is how to play medium skill players. And this is an excellent game here on downtown. We're down in the canyons and we are holding our own right now. I'm on the right side. You saw me rush up to that health kit. That's a great place to start the game. But now I'm behind him. I'm a little late, but I managed to take care of that. So what I mean by players is right there is Clown's dying. He's in the first position. So you can see that the first guy is dead of the red 4 guys under the radar there. And then we just saw Betos right behind me. That's TTV or Betos dying in the second position and then, or in the third position. And then this guy died in the second position. That was one of the other guys that I don't know. But that's just kind of how I try to keep track of the opposition. And so that's kind of a key part of playing at a slightly higher level is keeping track of who the other guys are, who's alive, and where they might be or what they might be doing. I guess maybe what they might be doing is higher level, but yeah, for the other things is yes. I also will be pointing out where I do things that aren't higher level play, like marching down into this canyon kind of blindly. I don't do any listen checks here at all, and I think I was checking my phone, to be honest with you, at this moment. Yeah, so I'm going to craft up a couple things. That's excellent to do with your back to the world where you can't see anyone. Sarcasm dripping. And then my guy goes down, and I just kind of blindly march in. I think everyone's up on that ridge except that guy, but I'm wrong. Deadly wrong. And boy... just excellent dying going on over there. So having assessed my performance as low during that encounter, I'm going to take a moment, try and figure out where the bad guys are, and maybe play slightly more conservatively after this exchange. But so if I'm playing medium players or low-level players, I'm going to mark first and then shoot because it's more important that I know where they are. Talking over my stupid decision there. I ran into that wall and kind of panicked and ran across and should have backed up and gone around that little wall to heal. That would have been a much safer, more professional decision. But I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying, you know. Anyway, so this guy, J-Thug, does get me up, and I'm able to heal in a slight amount of safety here. My guy's hurt, so I'm going to try and mark and shoot for him, but he decides to go in suicidally, so I can't help him, so I come to support this guy. He's scoping, so I take point, which turns out to be another healing moment, but I stay engaged, and this guy doesn't, so I managed to get this down. Now, I'm checking to see if anyone's coming for him. If they beat my guys on the right, I will throw a bomb right there and catch both of them as they're picking him up. But they didn't beat my guys on the right, so there's no one to pick anyone up. So we have regained the lead here by 1 guy. As I'm running back to the... this is the store box up here. We were down in the canyons at the canyons box. Every now and again, PlayStation just decides not to record a few seconds of gameplay. So there were 3 exciting seconds of me opening that box or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, up here is the store box. Down here is the subway box, and the mansion has the mansion box. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be anyone around here, and my team's all the way on the opposite side of the map. I thought they'd be coming down this way, but they decided to engage over there. So I am on what is called a long flank. It is also a late flank, I should point out. I already had a bomb. There was no need for me to stop and craft and slow myself down even further, but this has turned into what's called a cleanup flank, where you know the whole enemy team is beating your team, but they won't necessarily be aware of you. So before we move on, I'm going to take a second to explain what just happened there. So I came around this corner and I see Betos, TTV or Betos there. Maybe it's supposed to be Bad 05. I don't know. Anyway, I see him there running down. On the radar at the top left, I can see he's still running around at the bottom of the escalators, right? And now I see a different guy come peeking his head up while I still see the other guy running up. And so I threw and caught both. So it was not a late molly. It was purposeful to catch the second guy, but it was lucky that the first guy went up. I have no idea why he burned. But yeah, this was on purpose. Or it wasn't, and I'm just trying to give myself credit for a totally blown molly. I don't know. You decide. I think it was on purpose. I don't remember. Anyway. At this point, I know I've got a bomb on the box ahead of me, so that's where I'm headed. They do spawn in that corner and back to the right. My guys are behind me, so I figure they're spawning over there, and they're shooting at that bomb. And so I'm just waiting to mark somebody or possibly get a headshot. It's a mark and a body. And then this guy is kind of scoring me, so I back up to heal. I see a lot of red dots on the radar, and I wasn't expecting everyone to be there. So when that molly comes in, I kind of panic and do a bow. And then panic out a bomb here and accidentally get my buddy killed. The idea behind that bomb was that somebody was supposed to, he was going to crawl around behind there. We'd pick him up, and they'd come rush us, and that bomb would blow up. But instead, it was just a chain reaction. There, thrown bomb. A lot of stuff is happening. A Spectre coming in. Always run diagonally towards a Spectre if you can. It's hard to turn. Here I pick up the wrong guy. Should have picked up the guy with the lower health, but this seemed like the safer pick. Turns out it kind of wasn't. But he throws a molly, they back off, and manages to get the pick. I suspect he got most of them with both of that. Both of them with most of that. Anyway, here you can see exactly how far my aim is off. For some reason, I'm just aiming an inch to the left here. No idea why. So a couple of panic punches. And then here's the secret code. If you press all the buttons, your corpse explodes. Yeah, most people don't know about that. Secret tips here at Level Tours. So continuing on with the game, I'm going to spawn in with a launcher, whole bunch of potatoes. If you hate me for that, I don't know what to tell you. But getting Betos down right there, and then I'm still hoping for this pickup at the back, but I get taken down because I got too cocky, basically. And then my guy takes the kill wisely and then phases through my body. Always best to do that. But does get the pickup before clowns can come over here. I'm going to widen our approach. He can't shoot a Spectre at both of us that easily. And then I hit him. I thought I hit him with that launcher, but then I rush in. I thought we were rushing basically, and we didn't rush, so I died there. He also got a headshot off with that revolver, which is not something everyone can do. But I should have known my opponent could do that because clowns could totally do that. Here we're watching J-Thug take a listen, and then as soon as he's known, he gets into cover and starts aiming up on them. But because I was on his camera, I got to see where the bad guys are, so I'm going directly there to try and get a mark to help him out. Because he's fighting them, they don't know about me, right? So I can blindly walk in there hoping to get behind everyone. Here I'm behind one, but I don't have a shot. Here I do have a shot, and I get robbed. But I managed to clean up with a little potato magic. I didn't realize that they killed that guy, so I checked the scoreboard, and there's only 2 guys alive. So I thought I was just fighting 1v1 here, but I'm actually fighting 2 guys, and that's what takes me down. And also, I got stuck on that subway railing thing, obviously. Because Downtown doesn't really have any cameras down here, I just kind of stay on my guys' perspectives, trying to watch and know what all 3 of them know. And This is my reward. Getting to see this incredibly positive move. I would not have stayed for that fight. That guy's... wow. Anyway, because I saw everybody down there, or most everybody, I kind of assumed they're down there. Probably have time to grab a box and head over. My team seems to be winning their encounter there. So I'll throw a potato in because what the heck? Somebody's still alive. And might as well see if I can help. But they're not over there. And at this point, it probably seems natural to go with my team, but actually we're winning by one guy. We're one guy away from getting radar. And radar is actually a huge advantage in the end of game. So really the best plan would be for one of us to go and find him and try and beat him, because then if we die, the rest would get radar and everyone would be together with radar. My team is going all three that way. And I was going to as well, but I see the red dot on the map, which indicates somebody's putting a bomb down over this way, and a second one. So I try to shoot at it and whiff, and then I try to shoot at that window and whiff, and then I try to shoot in that doorway. And my aim was good, but it was still short. But I see the guy. He's running away, so I'm going to chase him. I think he might be coming to fight me at this doorway, so I'm going to throw a potato. But he's not. He's at the back. I see on my listen. So I'm going to chase him with a molly. I see that he's upstairs on the radar. So I'm going to just throw a molly up and see if I can luck into catching him. And then my guy goes down to a bomb. So I'm going to shoot out this bomb so that they don't get blown up if I die on my pursuit here. And then the game is over. I know that's a super sudden ending, so why don't we take a look at the last couple of minutes and see what happened. When I'm in my backpack, I'm going to be looking at this area. I'm checking the time, which is fine, checking who's alive, and then I'm actually just watching the radar. So that's why I see that bomb get placed. And that was the first one that got placed, and now here's the second. I think it might be on the box, so I shoot towards the box. It's not, so I think it might be up in the window. It probably wasn't either, because that might have triggered it. Here we have no idea if it's in there, because I missed so bad. But then that guy I see on listen. I don't manage to get the mark, so I'm not sure if he's not coming to this door. I shoot it, and I shoot out bomb number 1. How do I know I shot it out? Because the screen doesn't shake this much off a potato. And then I see him place bomb number 3 on my listen mode. So I go to the back where I expect him to be. And now I see him place bomb number 4 on the radar at the top of the steps. So I throw this molly because he's walking away from bomb number 4, I think. And then I shoot this out so they don't go down. I see bomb number 4, and then I see him doing that cowboy walk that indicates he's got a molly in hand. So I jump out the frickin' window, and then I shoot the potato at the ceiling to blow out bomb number 4. Whew, what a great game. I'd like to thank Yo Geez Bro, JThug5, Tokyo Ghoul Fan 21 for being awesome teammates, and All Clowns Kick, Will Buddy, Redneck Bikers, and TTV or Betos for being excellent opponents. If you're enjoying today's tour, please give it a like and subscribe and stuff. Hey, we are back with you here in the private half of the downtown tour. As I said before, downtown is one of my favorite maps. This mansion is one of the reasons why. There's a lot of great doors and entrances and exits and all kinds of running in and around that can be done. Here's the last stand room. It's got a bunch of paintings, so maybe the paintings room, but there's paintings everywhere, so I don't know. Last stand room makes sense. Over here, we've got the opening at the top of the ladder, or the ladder door. It's got a not great vantage down towards the subways, but let's take a look out front. Yeah, this mansion, we just call it the mansion. There's a bunch of office buildings and other things here in downtown. But the mansion is kind of the only big building you can go into. So the big house works, but most people call it the mansion, or the governor's mansion, I hear too. So yeah, let's get on top of one of these cars and take a look around. This end is pretty open out in the middle. There's a cool poster for Dawn of the Wolf, their Twilight parody, I think. That tells you how old this game is, if they're doing parodies of Twilight. But yeah, there's the big house, and then down there are the subways. There are some really cool buildings, so I encourage you to look up every once in a while just to admire the beautiful scenery. But yeah, coming down here, we've got the subway side of things. There's the subway box, and of course there are subway cars. You could call this the mansion side subway car, and the other one the other thing, I guess. This is the mansion side closet, and there's a closet on the other side as well, the store side closet. So yeah, downtown is kind of a big oval with a slash through the middle. Kind of looks like a theta, I guess. But there's a store side and a mansion side, if we're talking north and south. And the mansion is north, in my estimation, if that helps. I don't know if north and south helps for you, but there's no uphill, downhill, strictly speaking. So, yeah, the mansion is north. Here we can see the whole subway side. There's the inside platform and the outside platform. Inside is by the escalators, so some people call it the escalator platform or the lower platform. But yeah, the subway cars have a couple of these brick things outside. Don't have a name for those. Or these, really, except the health kit one, I guess. Some people do call them I-beams. I've heard that, because they look like giant concrete I-beams. I think they were probably planters. Wait, it's a subway station. I don't really know what they were. Yeah, so some kind of big concrete chunk thing. That's the inside of the subways. There's a lot to get stuck on in there, so I encourage you to not generally fight around inside there, inside the subway cars, if you can help it. Here's the soda room. That's the third hidden room here on this lower level. And there's some old school payphones, in case you ever want to remember what those looked like. Even when this game came out, there weren't payphone banks at subways, so I don't know what they're doing, but it's artistic license. There's the escalators, and here's the directory sign. So if people are talking about them hiding at the directory sign, that's where that is. There's a health kit on that health kit box or health kit barrel by the flaming barrel down there, and one here as well on the left there. And yeah, we can see the beautiful skyscrapers up there. Here we're going back towards the bus into the spawn alley. People spawn here, so we call it the spawn alley. Here's a sniper car. You can kind of get some kind of vantage. I don't really know. Somewhere there's some, yeah, I see people up here, standing up here sniping, so that's the sniper car. The other one's the cop car because it is painted like a cop car. And yeah, people do spawn back here. There's only two ways out of here, so spawn campers do tend to trap you. If they do, your best bet is to come inside. You might not survive much longer, but it's a better bet than going out front. Often, if you're going to spawn back here and you're not with your team, best to just go in here and lay low for a while. That's the back of the general store here, or I can't even remember what kind of store it is, but it's a store. Wendell River, that doesn't really help, but yeah, so here's the upstairs of the Wendell River store. There's the inside staircase, and then the side staircase is over by the other side. Here's the last stand room up here. People do always hang out behind this little concrete or brick thing with a shotgun. It's a great place for last stands. Also good to actually hang out, own this corner. That's another good place for last stands. You can kind of hang out here and see upstairs and see downstairs. Probably the better last stand place, rather, because there is a way out. But anyway, down here is some of the kind of general store stuff. There's like a, magazine rack or CD racks or whatever. Maybe it was a music store. I don't know. Wendell River. Doesn't really sound like any other kind of store I've heard of. So I got nothing for you. That is what I have for you, is nothing. But yeah, here coming up the outside, it's nice to jump that wall sometimes, although people do leave bombs there. These windows you can't jump out of. One of the few windows in the game you can't go out the front of. No idea why. But they're great sniper windows. That gives you advantage all the way down to the bottom of that canyon, that outside canyon there. And the other window gives you another advantage. Mind which shoulder you're using, because the shots here are very difficult off the wrong shoulder. And they really expose you to which shoulder you're using. Anyway, so let's continue the tour around the outside of the map towards the, that's the store box there. Here's another car. I don't think anyone stands on this one for any particular reason. But yeah, let's grab the store box and move on. There's a cop car here. You saw me craft behind it. That's a pretty nice place to craft. Up here, a common opening move for people is to hang out at this corner, or like you saw on that box. Here's a great bomb, especially early in the game, because fights tend to happen down here early. So if there's not a fight down there and nobody's around, leave that bomb in the first couple minutes and you'll probably get somebody with it. Anyway, grabbing the canyons box here. in this sort of canyon-y area. It's called the Canyons. That's the big pipe we just walked past. That's another nice bomb right there early on, especially if you're playing the team that spawns on the mansion side. We just passed the bus. That's the big bus, or the main bus, or I don't know, the bus. People just say he's behind the bus. Nobody says he's behind the bus when he's on this one. They say the side bus or the bus on the side or whatever. So that's the side bus on this end, and the other one's the bus. Yeah, so we'll continue around to the subway platform. This is the main subway platform, or the outside subway platform, I guess. And grabbing this stuff here, we can take a look at one of the rookie bombs on the map. I should have left this during the game. We actually saw a great kicking kill right there. If I'd left that during the game before I went to get this guy here, I probably would have gotten both of those down. So memo to self. Not that we needed it. But yeah, here's the bathroom. It's not actually a bathroom, but people call it a bathroom because, you know, it's easy to say. And here's the directory. Speaking of that, you can look at the map of this area, what this used to be. This isn't particularly helpful because it does reflect what's here, but it also reflects what isn't here in that it's been blown up and stuff. And mostly it's been blown up and stuff. Down here we can see some of the names like Shower Hero and Worst Buy, C-Mart, Movie Stop. Anyway, some good parody businesses there. Worst Buy, particularly like. So here we're going past the big pipe and to the back of the bus. People often open from here, sniping down into the canyons. This is a very common first move for any player from here. You can shoot to the red car sniper spot and cover the box, of course. One of them did open from there in the previous game. The opposite is true as well. It's very common for people to open from this red car. This probably has the best view in the game or in the map, but it also is very difficult to stand on and stuff, so it's obnoxious. It really will catch you out and makes you do these little weird half steps sometimes, but it's a great vantage point. A good support if somebody's already up there is to be here. You can cover people who are coming up underneath where the red car guy can see and maybe even shoot across or mark across down through there. But yeah, another good bomb spot is right behind this fence. If you know people rotate clockwise, then that's a good place to leave a bomb. Great vantage point to hang out from as well, to snipe, as you saw. Yeah, this is probably my favorite crafting spot on this side. No one looks back here or checks back there, has any real reason to look back there. People do like to snipe and craft in this box truck, so you will probably see people in there. Might be a good place to leave a bomb too. Nah, it's too exposed. You can see where it's coming from. But let's grab the box again and head down to the subway cars. Now in the private tour you see me running around like an idiot, and maybe I'll change that in the future, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll start walking around the way I would if there were enemies around. Yeah, during the public tour you saw the way I would normally move around this map. You go from object to object, from cover to cover, and this is a cover shooter, so if you're not playing in cover, well, it's just a shooter then. But yeah, intermediate play is about using your cover wisely and not just standing out in the open and shooting at people. Here's a great bomb to practice. You can hit that wall there. You can see I don't really do this one very much, but you can hit that wall from up there. If you practice that and get it down, you can get that as a quick bomb. That's really good because people don't have that many options out. Here's another good one to practice. Off the side there, it basically triggers the second it lands. Or a second after it lands. It shortens the trigger by quite a lot if you throw it up there. So yeah, coming down the escalators, we do usually have a health kit right here on this health kit I-beam, or flower box, something, planter box maybe? I don't know. Yeah, are there any more rookie bombs? There's not a ton of rookie bombs on downtown because it's not really played that much. Yeah, I was saying earlier that downtown is one of my favorite maps, and it totally is. It's top 3 for me with Checkpoint and the Dam probably ahead of it. But one of the things I love is the variety of games. You saw how this was a through-the-middle, sneaky, shooty, fighty kind of game. Not really sneaky, shooty, fighty, but like kind of in this middle canyons area. Downtown is reputed to have all these sniper battles, but I'd say only 1 in 4 games is a sniper battle where somebody holds up in the mansion and people try to flush them out. Or at the store on the other side. But yeah, each game feels really different on downtown. There's a lot of great bomb spots on the mansion and the store. inside each of these doorways, basically. You saw, well, you could that's a good one for where people jump in. You saw the one left down by this doorway, the one at the top of these stairs. So there's a lot of great bomb positions where you can really cover the mansion, but you need a lot of bombs to cover all the doors. You probably couldn't cover all the doors. If you're trying to hold it down up here, you're definitely going to have one guy in this window. He's your main shooter for the left side, trying to cover both those spots and keep an eye on that side. He's not the main shooter for that side, but he's able to get shot from that side. If you're here, it's much harder to get shot. And you see the way I kind of avoid being directly in front of the doorway. That's just because I'm used to getting people headshotting me from there. That's another good bomb spot right there. But like I said, there's ever more doors and entrances into the mansion. So you've got another door here. So a good bomb is kind of halfway between here and that top place where people drop down. It was like a year before I even knew this ladder existed. Eventually I saw somebody climbing up here and I'm like, what the heck is he doing? Anyway, here's the back room, the furthest back room of the way back. This spot reminds me how much I'm missing the TLOU Olympics they did. Maybe I'll leave a card right there. Bobby Barks and crew did a bunch of fun events, TLOU events, like Don't Get Found for 10 minutes or whatever. And one of them was, the Don't Get Found was here in downtown, and somebody hid in that corner for 15 minutes, and it was hilarious. Anyway, let's head out again and run around to all the places we've already been. I should really be working on making like a better format for the private tour. But I've been spending a lot of time on making the public tours better, so I hope this isn't too boring for you. But I will be working on improving these. I'm working on making the private tours absolutely amazing. I'm going to tease something during the post-credits that'll show you a glimpse into what I hope will be the future of these private tours. But we've got a minute left, so let's take a look at one of my favorite mollies. You do end up throwing this pretty often. It's a tricky one. I'm not sure I actually nail it on the first try here, but you get up on when you're up on this red car sniping, and if somebody rushes off to the right on you, see, that was what I was talking about with the red car throwing you about in weird ways like that, and that weird slow step he does to get back up. Anyway, the box molly it's a little short. So yeah, maybe it was a little higher or lower than I threw it. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, downtown does have a lot of rough terrain. I've learned to avoid most of it, but it will kind of push you around quite a lot like this. So yeah, you'll just have to kind of get a feel for it. Again, I don't come up here very much because of that. So yeah, I tend to generally avoid that. Yeah, it's a little higher than that. So that's a little short too, I bet. Well, it looks like we're drawing to a close in our private tour here, so I'd like to thank you for joining me today. Like I said, downtown is just one of my favorite maps, so I encourage you to explore it and enjoy it. It is just brilliant. That's a good molly to practice, just over the top there. That was a little long, actually. Ooh, all my mollies are off. But yeah, that's a good one to practice in between those slots. Here's a good smoke to practice, or bomb off the inside of that window. That comes in all the time. So hey, that's your tour of downtown. My name is Gustav Mahler, and thank you so much for joining me. Do widzenia!